What if the Nintendo NX completely fails? In the last video, I was kind of suggesting that that could be like the very end of Nintendo. That could be the death of Nintendo. But we know that's not really the case. We know that Nintendo has many billions of dollars of cash in the bank. They have intellectual properties like Mario and Zelda that are worth many billions of dollars. And so that wouldn't be the end right away. In fact, we've looked at how much cash they have and theorized, hey, they could keep running for decades. They could have another console that bombs, even after that one bombs, and they would still be fine. But is that true? I doubt it. And I don't think from a business perspective or Nintendo's investors, they would be able to stick with that idea. So, here's a few things that they could try. For the purposes of this video, let's imagine that the Nintendo NX has already bombed. It's already failed. The sales numbers have come in right after launch. It looks really bad. They have Zelda. They have whatever other launch titles they may have. Who knows? Maybe an F-Zero, maybe a Metroid game or something crazy. But whatever they did, it still wasn't enough. The NX has bombed. Gotta stay hydrated. Clearly, when I was asking the question last video if the Nintendo NX was really like the sole key variable to Nintendo's survival, I meant their survival in the home console business. But to a certain extent, it does kind of mean the last attempt for Nintendo to continue being Nintendo as we know it. That is, will Nintendo become kind of like another Sega, where they go from making hardware to then becoming this company that just kind of puts out a few games every so often and works with larger companies. I grew up on Nintendo, and I definitely don't want to see them go the way of the Sega. But it could happen. So, you know, they could get acquired, they could get bought out. They could also leave the hardware market and just do games on their own, trying to sustain themselves purely off of game development, which no doubt that would mean that at least some people at Nintendo who are devoted to hardware would be losing their jobs. And it would probably mean a lot of downsizing and a lot of restructuring and reorganization. It could also be the case that they could continue making hardware, but they would not be making dedicated hardware where they attempt to follow the strategy of releasing exclusives and trying to move consoles. It could be that they take their peripherals, stuff like the Motion Plus controller, or maybe craft a new VR experience, or they take their handhelds and kind of what they've done with that, and then they find ways to combine it with other places. Maybe we could have those same peripherals over on the Xbox and PlayStation. Maybe we could have them over on the PC. I think that would be awesome. And in fact, the more that I think about it, the more I think about what it would be like if we could actually get all the great stuff about Nintendo, get a Wii U gamepad on the PC. I mean, dude, that would be super, super sweet. Or what if, in addition to releasing the Nintendo properties for other consoles and for the PC, Nintendo then shifted their business into what has already been rumored, into movies, into theme parks, and then Nintendo became more like a Japanese Disney, releasing toys and more, dare I say it, more amiibo. What if amiibo is only the beginning? What if Nintendo is planning to fail in their console business? What if they're counting on it, and that's why they've already begun to diversify into all these other areas like movies and theme parks? Would that be a good thing? Is that what gamers want? Is that what Nintendo fans want? What if they got into music too, in a way that they never have before? What if they began putting on, live shows, and before we knew it, just like Disney, we were going to see Mario on Ice. Regardless, I am extremely interested to see what the direction with the Nintendo NX is going to be, and it is absolutely crazy to me that we're here now in the middle of 2016, and just 6 months ago, we thought we would have every idea in the world by now what the NX actually is and what it's going to do, and yet we still don't know, and Nintendo fans are still on the edge of their seat asking the question, what is the Nintendo NX? And will this be the end of Nintendo? Will this be the resurrection of Nintendo's heyday? Will we see amazing quality games again? Will everything become fun and fantastic once again, the way that we always remember with all of our childhood nostalgia? Oh, I only wish that I had answers to those questions, but unfortunately we'll just have to wait and see. What are some other possibilities that you think could happen if Nintendo's next console fails? Or, I know, they've said it's maybe not a console, right? It's a new way to play? Yeah, well, if it is video games and we can play Zelda and it involves, like, a controller, that's another console. So leave me a comment or give me a shout out on Twitter as to what you think are some additional possibilities that could happen with Nintendo if the NX bombs. I'm really interested to see what you think. If you like the video, remember to hit that like button, that thumbs up, subscribe. Guys, I will see you next time.